thank you very much for being here.
Yes, it's nice to be here, Fatima. It's very nice to be.
Thank you for having me. And how are you?
I'm doing fine with a PHI. Fine.
Do you want to present
Not
yourself?
FIME. I don't have any presentation for myself, no.
If somebody will ask you, who are you? What would you say?
I will ask them to figure it out. Like I have enough material out in this world and they can do the research and figure it out.
One day we will not have internet, or we are in some mountains, or in the moon or the stars somewhere there are not internet, and we can't research. How would you present yourself?
I would again, then if they're in front of me, then they will have to again figure me out by my actions and what they hear from me.
So
from my body language.
You can say what's your name, older.
Name is also you can have any name, right? It's not it doesn't define you as a being. Exactly.
Really? That's very interesting.
That's just one,
I always thought the name is very important. The name actually define you a little bit, isn't it?
Partly it can, but that also depends on you, whether you want to be as per your name. There are a lot of people who have a lot of kind of names. They don't live as per. A lot of people have the name like Sun, which is the root of the word soul. SOUL is SOL only. So when your spirit becomes equal to that of the sun, you have a soul then. When your spirit becomes equal to the sun we have in the sky, then you have a soul. Otherwise, you don't have a soul.
You are a professor, you are a guru. What is LotusOcean? Can you talk a little bit about
is just it's a concept I have started. Prashant Trivedi is the name I go by in the present life. In this life, because you have to have something which people refer to you by. So people call me PT as well. It's a short form of Prashant. PT. People call me whatever. Some people call me just P. So whatever it is, you just need some tag to be just called. So that's all it is. And whatever the importance of that is, P and T and everything, I've detailed in my book and my works.
Yes.
And LotusOcean is a concept, basically. It's a concept which is for bringing in divine laws onto Earth, because people know a whole lot about human laws. Every country you go to, like you're in France right now, so you will be following the French laws, okay? The French government, whatever the laws out there are.
Yes.
So people know about that, but people don't know about divine laws. People don't know what in this universe, in this whole creation, what are the laws? Actually, what are the real rules? Because the human laws are not so important. People give them a lot of importance. That seriousness in human beings is for actually divine laws, which has been turned over into human man-made laws, okay, which should actually be reserved, that seriousness, for the divine laws. So LotusOcean is a concept for bringing those divine laws back into human consciousness, basically. What has happened is that I've seen the world, I've traveled and I've seen different people, different countries, all the people, and there's a whole lot of problems in this world. Everyone will agree that there are a lot of problems, like people have all kinds of issues and problems, and it's not a easy life for human beings right now. And the reason for that is that human beings are not following divine laws. That's why this problem is happening, so if they follow divine laws, they won't have this kind of craziness or the madness.
Do you think that it's like a mission that you have in this life? Or you don't see it like that?
It's not exactly a mission. It is natural to do that. Okay. It's natural. Like if you come to know about something and, for example, if somebody is suffering with some disease, right? Right now you come across someone who has some disease, okay? And you know a solution to it. You know the cure for that disease.
I'm very empathic. I know that I will do everything for,
Yeah. So if you know the cure for the disease, okay, you will just say like, yeah, just do this, and then you'll get better, right?
Yes.
That will be normal, right?
Yes.
So you won't call that's your mission. So there is a problem. You see the problem, and you might have a solution. So you put forward the solution.
Actually, I start with something else. And my first question that I do to my friends or people that come and be part of this project that I have, for being a little bit more illuminated about music. And I would love to know what's music for you.
Well, I have a lot of music on my channel. If you go like to my channel LotusOcean on
Yes.
YouTube, there are thousands of more than 1,000 films, and all of them have music in it. Okay, and that's music played by me. So there must be some relationship with. All right. So and that is the published thing. Not what is non-published, unpublished is lot. There's lots of backlog which is not published as yet.
Yes.
So to music to me is sound. First, sound.
It sounds.
Yeah, sound. Okay, it's not a matter of this note or that note. It is just sound as a whole. Whatever is comes under sound, that's most important to me. And then so on, sound comes quality of sound, nature of sound, what that sound will do to you, what that sound will affect, how it will affect your mind, how it will affect your spirit, how it will affect the elements. You know, we have 5 elements around us, how it will affect that. So for music, for me, is sound basically. So it's like a sound experiment. Okay, sonic experiment, you know. So like if I play certain kind of sounds, there might be a rainbow as a result. If I play a certain kind of sounds, there might be a lightning storm. If I play certain kind of sounds, there might be rain. If I play certain kind of sounds, the rain might go away. Like, okay. So sound is something which is connected to nature and elements and yourself, your spirit, your body, and everything. So for me, music is something like that. It is basically a combination of sounds for a certain result.
So
Or
basically, it's energy for you, the music.
Yes, yes.
When do you start music and why do you start it to playing it? You play guitar, you play a lot of.
Yeah. I mean, mainly I use electric guitar mainly.
Okay.
Because from that you can make a lot of different kind of sounds. Like so my interest is in sound. Okay.
Yes.
So I want some instrument from which you can make variety of sounds, not
what?
Just
where, right?
Variety of sounds.
Oh,
like
okay. Yes.
Many types of sound. Okay. For example, if you play a piano or something, you can make one type of sound. Okay. Sound sonically. Okay, but with electric guitar, with different effects, with different pedals, with different amplifiers, with different things, with different that things, you can make different type of tones. First tones.
Yes.
Okay. And then different types of sounds, completely different sounds.
Yes.
You can create a sound painting. You can create a sonic thing completely, like a enveloping structure using. And technology is there now for making all kinds of sounds.
Yes.
And,
sure.
and I like organic sounds. Okay.
Organic?
So organic means like in guitar, when you touch the string, it's a human touch. You have to do both sides. So the vibration is coming from the fingers.
Yes.
Okay. When you, for example, hit a key in piano, okay, you hit the thing, but then there is a hammer which goes and plucks the string. But so the string is not touched directly by your finger.
No.
So there is that thing in between. Okay, I don't like that because I want the vibration to go directly from the finger to that.
I understand.
And electric guitar, there's a magnetic field in the pickups, where the pickups are. It's a magnetic field, electromagnetic field.
Yes.
Now, when your fingers pluck that thing, you change vibration just there and then on that field. So that disturbance which is created in that field is the sound which will go. So I like having that direct access.
This directed with energy
with
that
the vibration
the sound
of the human fingers.
Okay.
Yeah, with the fingers. I don't want any hammer or plastic or wood, anything in between. When you're touching with a finger, you can change its frequency with little amounts. In piano, there's a black keys and white keys. There, it's more digital. It's zeros and ones. In guitar and thing, you have between 0 and 1, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, 0.6.
Did you learn to play or you did it you are an autodidact? That means that you played alone.
Myself. For me, music is nothing about technique or technicality at all. Like it's not about learning something like mechanically. That's mechanical movement, what people learn. Okay. So for me, mechanical thing is not important at all. You know, a person within 5 minutes can make something on an instrument when they first touch it. Within first 5 minutes, okay, they have not learned anything. Okay, technically, you know, it's a field. What is called a field. Like a person can learn for 20 years or 30 years and not compose anything on an instrument. Okay, all of that's not important. What is important is internal work. Whether inside you have something to express or not. Okay, and what that is, what that will do to the other person, what you're going to do, whether it's going to make them sad, plaintive, happy, what kind of emotion it will stir in that beings. Because when music is played, people get different kind of emotions from different kind of songs, you know, or different kind of things, you know. So it's like, what are you triggering?
Before I used to do a little bit more concerts than now, but I know what mean being in the scene and making concerts. And what
Yes,
I love
yes,
the most, it was this kind of feeling that you can feel whatever you want, and it can be just for you. I mean, you show it, but people don't really know what is it. It's not like a painter that if you want to paint, I mean, a fruit, people will see it. In the music, it's very abstraction, you know, and
yes,
so everyone can feel whatever they want. So if I'm sad
yes,
and I'm playing a sad song, maybe I will be
yes,
sad because I don't know, I have a bad day, and somebody else will be sad because some things going wrong with
something
that,
else,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
And so this freedom to feel whatever we want about
yeah,
something that's it's similar, and I think
yes,
music for that is like a kind of very strange art, you know,
yes,
because
yes,
it's like unique in the saying that I always said this even when people interviewed me, because
yeah.
this is like one of the most beautiful things that we can have.
Yes, but the thing is that on a conscious level, people might not know something, but on a subconscious level, they know. Okay, if something is coming through on music, like even if on a conscious level a being doesn't know, on a subconscious level they will come to know. It'll seep into the subconscious, so it will always have an effect. What I'm
Yes,
saying is you can't have music without some effect.
parents or even my students, mostly of them are children, want just to play very quickly and do something that's very, you know, difficult. And I just try with them to work most of all the respiration to
Yeah,
breathe, you
okay.
know. And this is
It's good. It's good you brought this in because I can give you a technical example of that. Okay, like a more.
and I think that one of the most beautiful, important thing to do when you do music. So that's why I agree with you when you talk about technique, because I think this is part of technique, but
Yeah,
it's something natural. So
it's called breath.
that bring you music, even if you don't really, you know, it changed everything.
Yes,
And
yes, Karthik.
I love now. I used to be like them too, because you know, when you play faster and people are like, "Oh my God, you are a crazy pianist. That's a completely crazy." And I'm like, I was very happy about it. You know, I was a young girl that wanted to be seen and known, and you know, having this like of bravo in the end. And now
Yes.
that things change and maybe I grow up a little bit, even in my mind and my conscience, um, I just try today to make people feel and feel it with them too when I play. And so I'll try to teach to my students, even if they aren't very, even if they are young, you know. So I think this is important. So the one thing that I do always is the respiration, and the second one, they try always to stop when they do a mistake, or just to note everything. It's beautiful. Their phrase, phrase musicale, their melody, even the rhythm, and they are like, "Oh my God, I did something mistake," and I was like, "No, it's great. Just continue." It was like you have it. It's not a no that do the thing, you know.
Yes.
So that's why. I think it's so beautiful hearing even from you and from whatever whoever says it, that yes, technique is important, because without technique you can't do whatever you do in music, but
Yeah.
it's not the most important thing. First it's here and here and here, you know, first
Yes,
it's
yes,
here.
yes. That's what I say. Like, internal work is more important. If you are coherent internally, if you've done work internally, you will express something which will help others evolve. It will help other beings. Like what you're doing will help other beings. That music will be useful for them. And like there are, just like music can take you up and it can bring you down. There's devolving kind of
For
music, there's
sure.
evolving kind of music, both types. So for example, you were talking about breath, like having breath in music, which is what I call organic breath. Okay, to have breath in it. Okay, now what happens in breath is like what I call human beats. Like if a human being drums with hand, okay, in any drum or any congo or anything, human being is doing the beat. Okay, that beat always has breath in it automatically because a human being is doing it. For example, if you go to a machine, like now on the programs, computer programs, they have beats, machine beats.
Yes.
Everything is exactly on
Perfect.
line, like that thing. Okay, that does not have any breath. No human being plays like that. Okay, even any drum, anything, human beings don't play like that. So that's not music to me. Okay, that is antithesis of. So that's what I mean by inorganic. That's inorganic digital stuff, and I'm always for organic analog. Okay,
Yes.
so there are analog is a big term again in terms of sound, which is different from digital. For that you have to go into technology a little bit. Right now we have a digital technology like MP3 files and all of that, which is bad sound quality actually. In that there used to be better sound quality in vinyls and tapes.
Yes.
And now we have this worse sound quality. Actually, we have devolved in sound technology from 40s, 50s to now. Sound quality is going like down, not up, but
Yes.
down.
Yes.
Okay, so people don't realize that. Most people don't know about that. It is not a thing which is commonly known. But yeah, but it is. Since you brought this, the breath thing is very important because right now people, they wear watches. Okay, you know, now watch is a machine. Okay, it has a machine beat, tuck, 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 exact, right? And you're on your like that thing here wrist, you have your heartbeat. Okay, from your heartbeat it's here, right? The pulse. Okay, now that pulse never beats like a machine. Human heart never beats like a machine. It's always
That's
has
true.
off time. It has a off time. Okay, it's called HRV, heart rate variability. Okay, now point is when you put that machine on top of this, you're disturbing this beat. This beat is going different and that beat is going tuck tuck on a different. So you are basically affecting your heart negatively every time you wear a watch. But people don't know that.
I get it off.
Yes, that's good. That's good you did that, Pationa. What I'm saying is, but you don't know what you're doing. It's like two
Yes.
songs playing at the same time. It's like two songs playing at the same time with at the same time. And this one is disturbing this one, which disturbs your heart, which disturbs your immune system. It disturbs you on a spiritual, physical level just by wearing a watch, which is to me a sound thing also. That's all about music also.
Yes, because
Yeah.
what's music? Rhythm,
Yeah.
melody, harmony.
Yeah. So what happens is all the music which came in 90s, which was machine music, which is made on computers,
Yes.
it all has the beat. And people even on go to studios right now to record, they record with a click track. Click track. Click track is a machine. Okay. Now you're taking out all the breath of the music, whether you record in a studio with a click track or you use these machine beats. Okay. In either case, you're not playing music. You are becoming a machine. You're not a human being anymore. Okay.
Yes.
So the word music doesn't even come into play for me for any of those things. Okay. I don't consider it music. Okay. So, and it will not have any good effect on you. This is all to bring human beings down. There's an agenda for bringing human beings down. Okay. So human beings have to understand what is real music, what is real sound, what is high quality sound, what is bad quality sound, what is this, what is that, all this education. What happens is that in music, the sound quality, okay, the tonal quality is the most important thing. Okay, for example, in the Vedic sound, like what is called now Indian classical. Indian classical, it's called now. You know, I don't know if you know that term, Indian classical music. Okay, West has its Western classical music, right? Okay, now the difference, there is a whole lot of difference between the two systems. Okay, in that, like one note is it like a note and the king note, and then there are side notes, the frequencies. So if you have like one frequency at 432 hertz, okay, then you have side frequencies at the next hertz and another side frequency, and it's a cascade of frequencies, cascade, not one note. So one note is never just one note. It has to have these side frequencies cascading all the time, which are called different kind of notes, which is not there in the Western system. One note is one note.
Yes, that's true.
So there's a huge difference.
You have a little you have more complex what we call music. That's very more complex one, and we say it like a quart de tone, a quarter of tone.
Quarter tones, semi-quarters,
semi-quarters, and
even so all those are like side things. So that's why in one note used to be there's to be all these other strings to give value to that note. Okay, and even that note will be shaken here and there in the frequency, which will not be stuck to that singular frequency. So out of that, you trying to create a cascade effect, you know, which brings me to the harmony. What you talked about harmony. To harmony for me is like that you're getting to all of those notes, not singular notes, and then you're creating a cascade of the frequencies which actually add on, because when waves meet each other, they can meet two ways in science. There's constructive interference and destructive interference. When they join constructively, they cascade forward and they add their amplitude. When they're destructive, they destroy each other. Okay, this is just physics. Okay, so
this is the science that's all.
Okay, this is how waves function in nature. Okay, so all of that is there, like that's where if you create a cascade, you have to have all the other notes and stuff like that. So I'm coming from that type of background, which I call Vedic, you know, like which was ancient Vedic, which has become Indian classical now, which is not exactly the pure form of it, but it is still like more pure than the Western classical system. Okay. And in Western classical system, they made a very clear the A at 440.
Actually, classical music, it's Western, how you say it. It's more music, academic music. Mostly of the time when I listen music, I like to feel the nature, the earth, the blood. When I say the blood, the identity, the human nature, you know.
Yeah, that's.
So that's why I love folklore. Folklore, it means traditional music, because it makes me feel so primitive, but it's not
and
in the term of
connected.
You get it?
Folk music. You're calling that's called folk music.
Traditional folklore, folk music. Yes.
Folk music. Okay, and this music from India was brought to Europe by people called gypsies. You know what you call gypsy music in Europe. Okay. It's a gypsy music. Okay, now they have different sense completely from the whatever Western classical is. Okay, and Indian will be even more different sense. Okay, you can well imagine. Yeah. Okay. So, and I'm trying to bring that all of that into the modern technology, with where you have a lot of sonic possibilities through electricity, because once electricity is involved. Okay, whenever electricity is involved, things get complex. Okay. Because once you have an instrument without electricity, like you have an acoustic guitar, okay, you just plucking few notes, and all acoustic guitars, no matter how good, how bad they are, whatever make they are, they'll sound similar.
Yes.
The tonal quality, which will be the same. Now, once you start playing with electricity, now the game changes completely. Now, each note you can hold one note for 10 minutes. With acoustic guitar, a note will only last 3, 4, 5 seconds. Okay, maximum. Okay, with that now you can hold a note for half an hour. Okay, so, and you can do variations with it. So with electricity, the game changes. Okay, and when you play one note, you might not even play one note. You might play the cascades of it, which are traveling So when you combine 2 or 3, 4, you're combining and cascading 4 notes into so many things which you never thought possible on acoustic instrument. Okay.
Just in
So
piano.
yeah, yeah,
But
yes.
it's
So
not in the same thing
yeah,
as you are
yeah,
talking about.
same thing.
Yes, yes.
So like you are taking the ancient sort of style of music and blending it with the modern, which is technology, in the right way, without the machine beats, without using technology which is bad for humans. Because technology is both types. There's talking technology which can help the sound, and there's technology which detracts from the sound. Okay, so there's a whole level of understanding in it, which people who go into that are called audiophiles now. Audiophiles, people who care about sound,
Yes.
basically. Okay, so there is a
It's
whole
true.
term now in the West for those people who care about all this, and an awakening has to come in the masses at some point. That masses should get all this knowledge too about sound and better sound and quality and tonal quality and all of that, rather than it just staying in few people, So there has to be a revolution in terms of sound, which I'll call a sound
In terms of a
revolution.
lot of things, I think, but whatever.
Yeah, like a sound revolution as a whole. Like because human beings need an education as a whole, and a lot of it is missing, and people have
Why do you
lost
think
track
it's so important to have a revolution about the sound, and what do you think it's important to let people know
because
what the
sound
sound
will.
is?
So, for example, if you notice in the Bible also, the whatever the first word is, word makes the world. Okay, in the beginning was the word, and then came the world. Okay, word, WORD,
Words
world,
and worlds.
WORLD, 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 WORLD.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the difference? Difference is just one L. Okay, and L is just a turn, one turn. If you make one turn from word, you get world. So
Yes.
what is word? Sound. So from sound, you make one turn and you have world. Okay, so that's why it's important. Okay, because with sound, we make world. Like sound makes everything. Everything you see out here is a frequency. Even the wall behind you is a sound.
Yes.
It's just a frequency, and that's all it is.
And the
It's a
sound is the only thing that can go through everything.
yes, yes,
Can.
yes, yes. So word makes the world, which means sound makes this world. Okay, it's frequency and vibration. Okay, so that's why it is most important. That's why speech, human speech, sound, everything. That's why I consider everything. That's why in the Vedic thing, the mantras are there. The sound repetitions. You have sound repetitions for mantras. What is that? That's sound repetition, which is basically practicing certain kind of sound to create an effect. Okay, it's called mantric. Okay,
So that's why
so
it's important
yeah,
what we hear, what we say, what we
yeah,
talk, what we.
yeah, yeah, yes, even more than what we eat. Because when you hear from the ear, you're eating that too. You're eating. You eat not only from mouth, you eat from ears as well. But people don't realize that. You know, it's so it's
I
people
said
want to eat good food right now. People want to eat organic food. They want fresh vegetable. They want fresh this. They don't want to eat stale something, right? But they don't have the same standard for what they will hear.
do we have a relation with the planet and with universe and music? I mean, whatever we
Yes,
compose, whatever we do, the sound and the stars, and if the moon today
yes,
it's like that, can it change me and
yes,
make me do
yes. The
some
answer to all of
kind
this
of
is yes.
music
There is a huge
sense? And
okay. Yes, there is a huge relationship between all those things. Okay, like the moon, for example, transits one asterism every day. Okay, like in Vedic, we have 27 signs, not 12, 27. Okay, and moon has 128-day cycle. So in every day, it transits a new sign. Okay, so according to its energy, it'll give. So in the same way, a sun goes through different signs every month. Okay, like
yes,
Aries, Taurus, whatever. Yeah, so that's 12 signs, and then moon goes to the 27. Like and all the stars, different stars like Venus, Jupiter, which are called planets, grahas they're called in
Yes.
Sanskrit, and they all have their sound. And you can tell a composition whether this is a Jupiter composition or a Venus composition or a Saturn composition or a Mercurial composition, you know. So you can always relate any kind of composition back to these energies. So the stars, which are the grahas, and the asterisms, which are 27, besides the 12 signs, all are connected. And there's a symphony going on between them, which creates human life. Like the stars and the human life are connected. Okay, in the Vedic knowledge. So in the same way, sound and music are connected too. In fact, each graha in the Vedic has its own sound. Even then, that's how people are named. Even their first letter of their name comes from where your moon is in your chart. So that gives you the first sound of the name, and then your name has to be from pa or ta or tha or ka or la, whatever the first sound is. Okay.
Okay,
So
I didn't know it. That's very
yes,
interesting. So actually, I used to see you write sometimes PH for the F, and that
yeah,
seems so. If
strange.
you want to, if you will write my name, did you will write it like PH or the F, Pationa?
Yeah, that depends on. I'll explain to you. When you use the word fine in English, fine. You know, when people ask you how are you, and you say I'm fine. Fine is Fine normally written
Yes,
Fine.
yes.
And but if you make it PHINE, then it has more meaning. Why?
Why?
Because PHI is phi ratio. It's golden ratio. PHI is golden ratio. Golden ratio is what nature depends on. This whole creation is based on golden ratio. Okay. So golden ratio is like a number, like, you know, like you've seen a spiral, like you see a spiral. There's a golden ratio spiral. It's called golden ratio spiral. Okay. Golden means spiral. Okay. Now with that spiral, you can create anything in nature. You know how the number of leaves are arranged on trees, how flowers, anything. It's always going for this ratio. Okay, in nature. Okay, so it's called phi ratio. Okay, PHI, phi, Fibonacci. It comes from Fibonacci, phi ratio. So when you say fine, you means I am in phi, in phi. If you are in phi, then you're fine. If you're not in phi, then you're not fine. Okay,
Does it has a relationship with the Veda?
Ved.
Okay,
It's not Veda, it's Ved. Okay,
okay,
first.
wait,
Okay,
okay,
okay, now Ved are sonic codes, sound codes of creation. Okay, sound codes of creation. Just like you have a computer or a laptop, it has a language which is called Unix. It's a basic core language. On top of it, you have Windows. Okay, another language. Okay, which makes you finally do the things on screen or makes all this happen. Okay, same way, there is a basic sound code to this creation. Okay, that sonic code to this creation is called Ved. Okay, so Ved is not a story, it's not anything, it's just sound codes. Okay, they are
Dagar.
okay. So like it's like a building block. You know, you take this, you mix this, you get this. You take this, you make this, you make this. Like Lego. You know, in a Lego, if you take this, then you
Yes,
build a
yes,
building.
yes.
Yeah. So in the same way, these are sound codes, and they are only in Sanskrit, which is the language. The Sanskrit is like Unix of languages. Now people know all languages come from Sanskrit. Whether it's Albanian, Latin, anything.
Yes,
All languages come from Sanskrit.
yes.
Okay. So Sanskrit is the basic sound code for everything. You
So
know.
it's not a
So
language. It's
no, it's a
basic
sound
code.
code.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's incredible because I mean music through okay. I can't
Yes.
even I didn't thought that I will come in that point of understanding what language is actually. So it's come from so far and at the same time
Yeah,
so
because it's
near to our.
sound. Because it sounds. Okay. People should forget the word music for a while and just get the word sound. Okay. Sound is a much more important word. Music is just little part of it. Okay.
I feel horrible. I need to change the title of my project. Sound through us.
Yes, yes. Okay. So you have to understand that, like because music is sound arranged in a certain kind of way. Okay, that's okay, which is different kind of ways you can arrange sound. Okay,
Yes.
and for getting different kinds of effects. Okay, okay. Now, so the same thing, like that's why even all these people like in painting and stuff, Michelangelo and stuff, they were trying to make everything, all the paintings in golden ratio. Like if you want to look something to look good, you use golden ratio. If you want anything to that thing. So, I mean, they were like, that's why in the Vedic system, classical, you don't even have octaves. It's not like one note, then you go to the multiple, two times that note. No, you can go golden ratio 1.618 times that note.
Yes.
You don't have to go multiply everything by 2 all the time. So, 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 so there's a whole science to this. Okay. And I'm just giving people some idea, little bit of idea through this, so that they can understand that there is more to it than just one odd note, this note to this note to this note to this note.
Yes.
There's much, it's much more to it, music than that.
Why you think Veda doesn't exist anymore and people do not want it to learn, or why we don't know it so much about it? Or
yeah, it is because there was a basically general thing on the earth, which I said that there were people who don't want human beings to go higher, evolve. Okay, so then you have to create confusion. You have to create confusion in language. You have to create confusion everywhere. You have to not tell the right thing to people. Okay, so there is always distortion. There is always all kinds of things which happen, even in India, not just everywhere in the world. Even in India,
yes,
nobody's interested. Yeah. So where they are, nobody's interested there even. Forget about like places outside, So there is a whole thing which was created, like languages, different languages. Like right now, that's where confusion happens. Like Albanian people cannot understand French people can't understand German people can't understand these people. So people are divided by language because you can't understand each other in that language. Okay, so it creates division and confusion. Okay, so some concepts
who are
which,
these people that want this? Do you think that are the people in general? Is the society? Do you think that it's come from someone or some group of people? How do
yeah,
you see this kind of
yeah,
complot? Let's say.
yeah, these people are not first like the beings which are control Earth right now, or people in the world. They're not human. They're not even physical.
Okay.
Okay, they're not just like people like you. Okay, so they come from, because in the Vedic there are different worlds. We have a world. There are worlds above us, and there are worlds below us.
Okay.
There are many worlds. We just have one, this physical one, this particular kind of world. Okay, it's called Earth plane, Bhu, baby, Bhu, it's called. Okay, so this is one plane. So there are beings which come from other, like which will be called in the modern terms extraterrestrials. Extraterrestrials. Terra is Earth.
Yes,
So whatever is not from
la
Earth,
Terre, the Earth.
yeah. So they're ETs. You can call them ETs. You know, but in the Vedic thing, there is more precise that thing. Like this is the age right now. We are in an age, in human age. It's called Kali Yug. Kali
Kali?
Yug.
Yug?
Yug. Yug means
Like,
age of Kali.
it's
Kali.
incredible because Kali in Albanian is the horse.
Yeah, yeah, Kali. But this is Kali. Kali, not Kali. Kali.
Ah,
Okay.
Kali. Okay.
Kali. Yeah,
Okay.
Kali. So Kali is the name of a like a demon, like a negative entity, which is in charge
Okay.
of this world. Okay. So in this, where people are ignorant, people don't know the real thing. People are very confused. People are doing all the wrong things. They're harming themselves. They eat all the wrong things. They listen to all the wrong things. They do harm themselves all the time. You know,
Yes.
like people are always. That's why there's so many hospitals and there's so many bad things, because people get sick all the time. Why? Because their diet is wrong, everything is wrong, everything they do is wrong, and then they have this all this negative effect. Okay, why? Because you don't know what to do. There's no education. School does not teach you that. School does not teach you what to eat, how to behave, what to do with the human body, how to deal with it. Nothing is taught in school. If you are evolving, and if you are have knowledge, you can't be controlled.
No.
You will be working for yourself and your evolution. You will not be doing any of this mindless jobs, all this nonsense, or any of this. Whole system will collapse.
You're
System
right.
only is there if people don't understand what they are here as a human being, what is their purpose, what they're supposed to do.
Do you think the key it's really to stay positive for everything? I mean, I used to talk even with Aphrodita about these two samples that people have done with the water and the rice, that they talked good to the water and the rice, and the glass of water and the rice that used to be told good things and beautiful things, that they
Yes,
were endomaged, so perfect,
yes,
in the perfect
yes.
uh, how
Yeah,
can I say
they
that?
get, yeah, I
They
get it.
were they were good, and the other
Yeah,
one they put some bad words and some letters with the worst that we can say to
yeah,
something or to someone, and they got
the
very
plants did not. Yes, yes,
they
yes,
got other to normal. So
yes,
do you think that that can be okay for us for living a better life and even for being better with each other and with the nature?
yes, yes. Obviously, that experiment I know about, and that's what, like, that's why as a human being, you are a being. Okay, first, you're not your name, you're not that thing. You are a being. You're not this body even. This body you have taken basically, and uh, yeah, and this body will go. Okay, so you are a being, and then you have to say, I want my well-being in future. Like, I want my well-being as a being. So even this is a positive statement for yourself. If you say that, that's a mantra. You can do that in any language. You can do it in Albanian, you can do it in French, you can do it in English, you can do it in any language. Now, if you say that mantra, you are creating a way for yourself which will take you higher. The more clarity you have and you're very clear about what you are actually saying, just like they were clear about those things. So if it has effect on rice and water and other plants and flowers and and all those things, then it'll have on you too. I mean, just not in this world, for your spirit level. First, the physical level, which is your body, then your
Yes.
mental, and then your spirit level too, on all levels. You know, so that's where everything comes in. Like, so
And
sound,
that's a sound actually, because when you talk, so
yeah,
it's a sound, it's a
yeah,
music, even in the
yes,
language is a
yes.
music.
Yes, that's why too, how to speak properly from the center of the mouth. We teach in LotusOcean meditation, and Rapadita is teaching how to speak from the center of the mouth. How to use, because human mouth is not just for eating food. You know, because once you eat food from the mouth, it goes into your stomach where fire is, it burns, and you get energy. Now, that energy has to come back from your mouth to speech. It's a full reaction. Goes in, comes back through speech. Now that is called a ritual. It was called a yagya in Sanskrit. Yagya, you know,
Yargya?
yagya. Okay, like, so, like, you're doing this process in energy and then speech. So that's what a human being is. It's most important part of a human being, the speech, which separates you from other animals, that you have more coherent speech as a human being. So you have to use that properly, So that is also music. So people talk about singing in music, right? Like, there is talking, there is speaking, there is singing. I say, don't worry about singing. Just speak properly. Okay. There's, because speaking properly is like singing. Every word I'm saying right now, or you are saying, is all singing. Everything is singing, which is now they call it
Yes.
rap.
Yes.
You know, yeah. But everything is singing all the time.
Sure.
You don't have to do a special thing for singing.
Do you think in the stars and in the galaxy
Yeah,
and in the universe,
yeah.
they do sing, they do have sound, they do have, like, they have
Obviously,
light?
Yes, everything.
We don't really know it actually like scientifically, but what do you think about it?
Obviously, the structure of the universe is not like how they have been taught. You have been taught in school. We don't. They think this is a galaxy or anything. It's not like that. We have planes of existence, and there are different frequency levels to those planes. Most of the things human eyes can't see. So most of the world, imagine, you are only seeing from your eyes 1% of the world. 99% you're not seeing. So you can imagine the situation. That's why they've been able to fool us into thinking all these things, the solar system and all of this. This is all nonsense. It's not like that. In science, everything is theory of relativity, theory of gravity, theory. They never say fact. They never say this is the fact, because it is not the fact.
There are no facts.
Whatever they taught you at school is not facts, because facts are hidden from you.
Do you think that they will come and we will talk like we used to do before, the beings used to do before? They'll talk the same language
Yeah, unity, that
that have
of the
this.
whole
Yes,
whole divine laws, divine everything, all of that is coming. The future is that is the future. People have choice, right? All beings have choice. Whatever they want to do, they want to go in this direction, they can go in that direction. If they want to go in that direction, they can go in direction. It's called free will. Okay, so beings have free will, and some beings are going to go in a wrong direction. So be it, but they can't be part of the new world. Then that's, so there's a change coming, there's a cleansing happening. Nature is always going to clean itself.
do you have an advice for everyone that you think
Yes,
that's important?
advice is like, first, like, is to realize that you are a being. Okay, number one. Okay, like, you are not what your name is right now, or what your profession is, whatever you think, or this body. Okay, to realize this first, which is a fact. Okay, it's a fact. It's like you will, because there's a thing called death, where you leave this body. Like, leaving this body is just like changing clothes. You have one clothes, you change it to another clothes. It's like that. Okay, so you have to realize basically that you're a being. Okay, and your future as a being is in your hands. Okay, so everything which is going to happen to you in the future will depend on your actions on yourself. So you have to take full responsibility for your own actions, and don't go on like pointing fingers at others. Oh, this was because of this, that this is don't waste your time in pointing fingers. Just take self-responsibility and do the action. Find out what the right action is, and then do it.
Work.
Basically, as a being, yes, and discipline.
I thank you very much. I had a great time. I won one of the most beautiful conversation that I had. Thank you, and see you
Yes.
see you then.
Soon.